Hello, and welcome back to Sip, Spill, and Solve, the podcast where two girlfriends drink wine, spill opinions, and attempt to solve crimes with absolutely zero qualifications.
Zero, none, zilch. We are not detectives. We are women with beverages.
Yes. And questionable judgment.
Oh, yes.
Especially after the second glass.
And I'm Jean.
And this is Sip, Spill, and Solve. Most important aspect of the show, as far as I'm concerned, is the sip of the week.
Yes.
So here we are.
Yeah, because we refuse to discuss crime sober.
It's true. It's too depressing. Anyway, so this week we are drinking, my gosh, you guys, it is this jalapeno mule. And it is a crafted beverage, and it is from Mason Dixon Distillery in Gettysburg.
Right here in Gettysburg.
Oh, great. Let me read you a little bit about it, and then we can talk about our opinions on it. So we say this episode is proudly sipping on a cocktail from Mason Dixon Distillery, a small batch craft distillery based in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It was founded in 2013. Mason Dixon Distillery is known for producing high quality spirit using locally sourced ingredients and a whole lot of mid-Atlantic pride. From vodka and gin to ready-to-drink canned cocktails, they focus on bold flavors, thoughtful distilling, and honoring their region's rich history, all while keeping things approachable, creative, and delicious. So, what do you think?
This is awesome. See, I do love my Moscow mules, but sometimes when you buy it already pre-made, it's not as good. This is probably, did we say jalapeno?
Jalapeno. Yes.
Jalapeno mule, but it's not real spicy.
No,
so
and I don't like spicy.
Okay, yes.
So for me, I tried it last weekend with Kelsey. We were at downtown Gettysburg.
I love it.
And I'm like, so good. I'm like, I think Jean would like it, and I think our listeners would like it.
Yes, this is dangerous because it is so smooth. It's probably one of the best things we've done.
Yes.
I want to. Plus, too, Mason Dixon has wonderful foods. We were talking about that. You can go to the support them. They do a lot for the community. Okay. A great, just from we'll put the link or whatever. Yes. But and then you said there were different flavors.
Yeah. Flavors of these canned cocktails. Now, here's the problem. Jean and I like this so much, and we're only splitting a can, just so you know. We're sharing a can, but we're already feeling the effects because it goes down so smooth. You're just like,
yes, sucking it.
Woo! I said, this does not bode well because we have another episode to record.
Yeah. We'll let you know how that goes. Well, you will know, but definitely Mason Dixon Distillery.
Yeah. So don't you agree that this is going to be a beach drink?
Oh, yeah. This will be a beach. And I definitely want to go and get others because if this is that good, then.
Yes. And I did try others because you can go in and try all these flavors. Anyway, hey, so this brings us to
Yes.
I'm going to say wine and what the hell.
Kelsey. We'll do that. Yes. We'll do that. Wine and what the hell.
And it's a dumb criminal of the week.
And we're not just celebrating crime. We are celebrating stupidity at the finest.
Today's nominee is the Dryer Fugitive.
I can't. I already love him, and I haven't even heard anything. Yep.
Okay. So, and I want you to just take a wild guess at what state this happened.
Okay. I haven't even read up on it, but I'm going to guess Florida.
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
We love our Floridian.
Okay. So here, I'll just tell you a little bit about this, and then you can just react. Okay. So 2024. So this is last year. No, year before last. I keep forgetting. It's 2026. Police are searching for a Florida man wanted on multiple felony charges. And when did they find him? Where did they find him? He is folded inside a clothes dryer.
Huh? Like the drum of a dryer?
The drum, like curled up pretzel style. Hot, sweaty, ashamed.
Okay. I applaud him because I don't know, at my age, I can barely sit cross-legged for 10 minutes. I'm just saying. So, hey, I wonder, how old, and
he had to have been young. Right? Because who's guessing that? Unless it was an industrial dryer. Like, I know.
Joe, you're talking about your legs all scrunched up.
And what if somebody accidentally turned it on? You'd be dead. I saw Midsummer Murder about that.
Oh my gosh. That's hysterical.
So deputies reportedly pulled him out one limb at a time. and describe him as looking guilty, embarrassed, and warm.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if your escape plan involves fabric softener? I wonder if he
probably smelled.
Yeah, I wonder how
Downy fresh. I do not know. But this is why we say crime doesn't pay, and neither does hiding in household appliances.
No, not at all. Oh, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah. Way to go, Florida.
26, we start off with Florida.
I can't help these things. I Google them. And
you do.
It may fall where it may.
Yeah, and we've also done some from Pennsylvania, but Florida takes
the cake. Okay. So now we're going to take a turn into a much more serious story.
And this case has stayed with people for decades, since 2000.
In this case, we're talking about the case of Molly Bish.
Yeah. A beautiful 16-year-old when she disappeared June of 2000 while working as a lifeguard in Massachusetts at Warner Pond, I think it was. Commons.
It was
Pond. Warner, the town.
Yep.
Heather, the sister of Molly Bish. Heather is a dynamite, a pit bull, whatever. She is on a mission, and I applaud her, and we want to be there right with her.
Yes.
So we're going to leave links to TikTok, but also a 48 Hours redid this story to put it back into light, because honestly, social media has its negatives, but there are some good when it comes to social media.
Absolutely.
And this is one of them.
Absolutely.
It really reinvents cold cases.
Yes.
It helps.
Yes,
so
absolutely. It's people, even like our tiny podcast, you know, we are seen in almost all 50 states. That type of, or listened to, I should say.
Yeah.
So, you never know what you might have seen that you didn't know was anything. We often say that. Let's go a little bit back into how this all went down with Molly. So I just had this. So she was the youngest in her family. She had an older sister, Heather, and then an older brother, John Jr. Their parents were Maggie and John. And John was a police officer. I guess he was still a police officer.
At the time, I think.
Yeah. And so they moved to Warren. And this is, I thought this was very ironic, from Detroit. Did you hear this? Because they didn't think their kids were safe, because in their neighborhood, I guess a girl had been abducted. And
in Detroit. Yeah. So,
So they moved where they thought they were safe.
Yes. Yeah. And Warren's like a little town.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
In Massachusetts. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so I guess she had, was an athlete and an honor student. Yeah. She recently had just gone to her prom. So she had just finished her junior year. Oh, it makes me so sad. And so then she was a lifeguard, and I think this was only her 8th day on the job.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, so much so recently knew that she was wearing a blue bathing suit because she hadn't even gotten her red one. The lifeguard, the red bathing suit. That was on order or whatever. Oh. So that's why I'm just adding that. That's how recent it was. Yeah. But like from starting the summer, because prom had been recently that she had gone to.
Yeah, this is the beginning of summer. Men's Pond was small. Like, you have to know where you're going to go to it. Like, it's not like I don't know. It's kind of hidden, I think. Yeah. Type of a hidden gem. And her brother had worked there for 3 years as a lifeguard. And then I had heard on something I was listening to that he had trained her. And this was like only her like 2nd or 3rd day without him.
Wow.
Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Okay. But and to picture, they made it like a beach. A lot of people, think pond, because you can go fishing here, but they had sand and made it like a beach. Yeah, so great for kids.
Oh, see, we love that. Like Pincho.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, that's what
the toxicity.
Yeah,
we will go there another day. But there's like a lot of swimming lessons were taught there. Right. And so Molly had to be there like at 10 a.m. and she would be the lifeguard, and then parents would come with their kids for swimming lessons. And so the day that she disappeared, let's go to the day before she disappeared.
Yeah.
Do you want to say that?
Her mother dropped her off the day before, and they noticed a man smoking a cigarette in a car, being a white sedan, and he was in the parking lot, and he was hawking And the mother stayed with Molly, walked her down to the pond. But when the mother came up, she didn't take any crap. And she locked eyes with this man. And she said literally got chills, like just an unsettling.
Yes. I think it glared at her.
Yes. And she then had a gut feeling about whatever. We know, some of us know what that means.
Yes. Like, so if you're a mother and you've been, And I know that she had, they had stopped before they got there at the police station because they needed to pick up a two-way radio.
Yes.
So this was before really cell phones were a thing, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't think,
because we're so into cell phones now.
Yeah.
But, so she had a police radio.
Yes.
I can't imagine my child being alone as a lifeguard like that. You know what I mean? And now in this day and age.
Again, this day and age, but back then, oh, heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you did.
Yeah.
And the mother, then the man pulled away. This is the day before. And the car pulled away. So then she felt
that
she was safe and other people were going to
arriving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next day, I think the day that Molly disappeared, Maggie she wasn't really keen on leaving her, but there was also a sand truck. I mean, there's activity there. So she felt like it was safer to leave.
And the white car was not there.
Was not there.
With the sand truck dumping sand.
Right.
Other activity.
Yeah. So and I would have thought she would have been fine too.
I would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Now, one thing I found interesting is that from parking lot where this man was, you could not see down to the beach. So he was not sitting there like watching Molly, so let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
So, it's suspicious, but he couldn't see anything.
Right.
Which is, I didn't get that at first. I'm thinking, well, he's parked there. He's watching her, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, he can't see.
Yeah.
He could see her coming and going.
Right.
To know that. But anyway, so they leave, I guess. She was running a little late. Her start time was 10. Mm-hmm. And so by the time she got down there, it was like 10:03, something like that.
Yeah.
And between 10:03 and 10:20, was it 10:20? And it could have been even less time than that.
Yeah.
She was gone, right?
And the mother didn't find out till about noon or something?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock when
police called her.
Yeah. Parents had reported there's no lifeguard on duty.
Right.
So that's when she got the phone call. And of course.
And I think it took a little while because I think one of the mothers of the children took over the swim thing.
Yeah.
So when the mother got down there, so was like Maggie or Molly's flip flops.
Yes.
Her towel was over her chair. Book bag, I do believe it was. Was it her book bag? No, her book bag was not there.
Right. The police radio.
Right. The police radio and a first aid kit that was laying open.
Yes.
So when the mom got there and she realized she's going to have to take over like lifeguarding for these kids that needed to swim, she went through her stuff and got like the whistle out and, all these things that she needed. So there was no really preservation of any kind of crime scene.
Yes. And also though, the big, big, big thing is, and the sister has said this, Heather, is that Molly would have gone nowhere without her flip-flops. She was a shoe person.
Yeah, she hated icky feet is what I heard on 48 hours.
And so that right there is a red flag.
Right.
Because, and I am a barefoot person, but I know my older sister, she's like a Molly and she would not
go without her.
Even in a house, she has to have, she has to have, she just doesn't do bare feet at all.
Yeah.
So there are some people
that are like that.
And that's how I picture Molly being. So that to me would have, if it was my older sister, it would have been a red flag too.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is that they thought maybe, first of all, that she, the police initially thought, well, she ran off to be with her friends.
Yes.
Well, she wasn't that kind of kid. She was very responsible, young woman. And they thought that maybe she drowned.
Yes. But they did the pond. I mean, it's.
And immediately the parents were like, no, she did not drown because she was athletic, strong swimmer. She wouldn't get in the water. Why would she get in the water?
Yeah. And she was also such a strong athlete. It's not that you can't, but
it's a pond.
Yes.
It was a man-made pond. So it's not like it was like a lake.
An ocean.
Exactly.
You have.
So it took the police a while, I think, to really decide that this was a missing persons case, which is sad because, a lot of evidence was lost. Now, they did gather, I guess, that was unusual from the beach. So some cigarette butts.
Some cigarette butts.
Some garbage. Oh, I just, and this made my heart hurt so bad. Because, as mothers of daughters.
Oh my gosh.
I'm constantly like on Instagram, they have watch out for this. I'm sending those to Brittany and Kelsey all the time. Like the whole thing with the human trafficking, and then you take it. And like if somebody tries to hand you something, don't take it. It's laced with fentanyl. I do all those things. Even my kids are in their 30s. Yeah. You know what I mean? I still do that.
Yeah. And she was 16.
She was 16. I can't imagine the guilt that I would feel as a mother, even though Maggie there's nothing she could have done.
She would have done exactly what yeah, but I agree. You do feel
hindsight's 2020. If only we had, if only blah, blah, blah. And yeah. And it I mean, this is kind of like a sidebar. I firmly believe that when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, no matter where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that for whatever reason, God wanted her home. Yeah. Now, and I say that, but I don't think in the way that it happened is anything that God would have sanctioned or wanted to happen. I think he knows it.
Yes.
I don't get into theological debates like that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why I went there. But anyway,
but I also think in every case, some good has to come out of it.
Right.
And I know the family is probably looking like, what the hell? There's no good coming out of this. Right. But somewhere along the line, there will be, whether Molly, and I hate to say this, saves someone else, maybe.
Well, did you know that they started a foundation they would give kits to parents?
Yeah.
So that they could have all the stuff that they need if your child goes missing.
Yeah.
Which I believe we did that with our kids.
We did, but yeah.
I think, and I never knew where that kind of came from. I think it was the fingerprints, and it was pictures, and you kept it like in a little safe box. So in case somebody came and said, your child's missing, you have a current photo, all this other stuff.
So also I do know Heather is going through a lot of legislation with Massachusetts, to, first of all, preserve DNA. Do you think there needs to be, I know DNA technically is reasonably new. I mean, it's seriously, and I don't think our police are really trained. Even nowadays, I think I personally think we could do better at training. I remember my dad used to say, not joking, but he said, if you ever went missing, I would never call the police. I would call my friends who are hunters, because they really often think, and I still feel that
they're trackers.
They're trackers. Hunters know if you are an avid hunter, you know signs to look for. Again, this now DNA has been around a while, but I really feel like police, I think they still pick up things, and they're not as careful as they should be. They're not as careful as a crime scene.
Especially if you don't know it's a crime scene.
Yes.
And so this was like they're thinking it's a typical 16-year-old.
Yes. But you should actually go into every situation. And to me, that's a thing that they need to work on, is to go into every situation.
This is a crime scene.
Yeah. And then if it turns out not to be, then it's not.
I know. I agree. Well, so anyway, back to the story. So she, so of course, Maggie remembers this white car, and this man in there. And so she is able to give them a sketch of him.
Yes.
But come to find out, there was somebody spotted that white car. I don't know if it's the same white car.
Right.
The cemetery, the adjacent cemetery. So evidently there's a path from the beach, from what I understand, to the cemetery. And that day, somebody saw a white car at the cemetery, which makes more sense, because otherwise they would have had to coerced or dragged her back up the hill, because Cummins Pond was down, like if you saw pictures of it, it was kind of like down an incline. Yeah. And so with the first aid kit, the idea is possibly that somebody approached her and said, I'm hurt. And of course, she's a nice girl, and she bends over, she opens the case, and then that puts her in a vulnerable position.
Yes.
And I don't think it kind of takes balls to do that. Well, it does, but not knowing how fast people are actually going to arrive at the lake, makes me think, and we'll get into that a little bit later, that it was someone that she trusted, and she walked away with them to a certain point.
Yeah, but I think too, times were different then. If you had someone say, "Hey, I need help. My child is up. We were visiting a grave and my child fell and hurt. Do you have anything?"
Oh, yeah.
And as someone, as a lifeguard, you want to help people, but as a 16, you still want to help.
Right.
Okay, yeah. And
when
then
you're 16, you're a kid.
Even now, if someone said child, I as an adult, because you do. So that's what I think.
Right, and because she was kind and she was young and naive.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Well, we'll get into that kind of thing going forward. But so anyway, let's see.
So they did searches. They did,
and and initially, they looked into the boyfriend.
Yes,
because when he showed up, he had a fat lip and he had scratches all over him.
Yeah.
So, however, this is a crime that took planning.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And I think the boyfriend was exonerated, but I think that this had to be someone who was willing to work within a short little timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Had a plan. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. I don't think it would have been another teenager could have executed this as carefully as what happened with this case.
Yeah. And a lot of times too, that this person could have done it previously. And because that happened. So they've done it. It was success. And they get a
little bolder too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And what's very sad is I did read, not sure if you did, but the boyfriend then passed away a few years ago in a car accident.
Tragedy upon tragedy.
Honestly, Molly's family's no way they ever believed that boyfriend. And the police did say, well, some of the kids and boyfriend had different stories. But again, when you're 16, you're living at the, it's just,
you understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they convened a grand jury and interviewed all of these kids. And then the grand jury was dismissed and there was nothing, so I don't think it was any of those. I think it took a lot more planning than, like I said, a teenager could execute at that point. So between, I guess had brought tracking dogs in, and the tracking dogs tracked Molly's scent up to the end of that path in the cemetery.
Yeah. The bloodhounds from the path to the cemetery.
Yeah. And then they lost the scent.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little bit of Maura Murray.
Yes.
We've said that's very similar. And so they're assuming that she was taken in a car at that point, or a vehicle at that point.
Yeah, especially with someone in the cemetery spotting the white car that morning.
Right.
Being in the cemetery.
Right. Exactly. So
then pretty much it remained unsolved.
Right.
It became a cold case.
Yes, because they had nothing really to go on.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting thing. So, and we could always cover this case, but before that, I forget how many years before that, the Holly Perinian, a 10-year-old girl, was abducted and killed very close to that. I think within, 10 miles, if that.
Okay.
Or something like that of Cummins Pond. So anyway, so you did have another girl that, getting killed.
Yeah.
So let's see.
So then it remained.
Yes.
They really did not have anything after 2000, even with searches and nothing. And then I have in June of 2023, Hunter found the blue pieces of the blue bathing suit.
Yeah.
And in the woods, Ski Hill in Palmer, which is pretty close. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, Molly's remains were found. So in was it 2020? No, her remains were found 3 years later. I'm sorry, 2003. That's what I had.
Yes, and then it was June 3rd.
Yes, okay,
of 2003, and then the exact cause of death could not be determined because there was no DNA left.
Yeah,
and her bones were spread across I forget how many miles. It was a lot of miles. So they think that an animal got to her. They said that there was a bobcat or something that had been known to be up there. So sad. And then in August 2007, Robert Berner, did you read about this? He had been arrested for harassing a woman. She came into wherever he worked. I forget what he did. And he said he needed a cleaning woman. And so then he showed her his apartment, and then he actually locked her in, raped her, choked her, that type of thing. And so, and he actually had a white car. And so he was suspected of that. I should have more details on him, but I do not. And then in November 2011, Harold Battistoni, I think you say it, is convicted of rape of his girlfriend's daughter over 100 times. I think near Cummins Pond.
And he resembled the composite.
Yes, and he did. Yeah.
But he died in prison in 2016, I read.
Yes. But he had owned a white Chevy, I think it was, and he took it for a spin on that day. And then after the abduction, he shaved his mustache and wouldn't leave his house, according to the ex-wife.
Okay.
And he was also familiar with Whiskey Hill, where she was found.
Yes.
And he was also, I find this very interesting, accused of posing as a policeman. Yep. And tried to kill himself in jail, but he did die in 2014.
16, I think. Or did you? 14. Yeah, that's what I have on my notes. Yeah, so 14.
Okay, so if you're not guilty, right? First of all, why would you shave your mustache? You know, and like lay low. And then if it makes sense, if he was posing as a policeman, then Molly would of course follow him. Yeah. Right? So I don't know. I have a feeling about him, and and he looked like the sketch.
Yes, he did. And then I had another one that they pretty much ruled out is Frank Sumner.
That's the one they did not rule out.
Well, because he was a person of interest and he was a convicted sex offender. Oh, he died in 2016.
Right, and he's the only one that police named as a person of interest.
Yes,
right?
But then their son did a DNA and the match it
was inconclusive.
Yes. So I just didn't find him to.
Well, okay. So before that, in July 2012, have you read about Rodney Stanton?
Yes, I have that. Yeah.
So he was before Frank.
Yes.
So he was a convicted murderer because he murdered his girlfriend. Now, he had lived up near, I think it's Sturbridge or Southbridge, which is only like 14 miles from Cummins Pond.
Yes.
He moved in 2001. He moved to Florida, which is very interesting, right? And then in February 2008, he was arrested for breaking into a female neighbor's home and attempting to choke her while he was covered in blood. And guess what? When they went to his house, he had murdered his girlfriend. Now, do you know anything about that phone call that Crystal made to her sister?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't read that.
So, let's see if I make sure I'm getting my facts right. So, I guess, he was an abusive man, right? Yes. Obviously. So, I guess that her, let me think how this went. It was a phone call from Crystal, and she was very cryptic about him being responsible for some murders in Massachusetts. And what he said was...
Who did she make the phone call to?
Her
police?
Sister. To her sister.
So she made the phone call.
Before she was murdered, Crystal made a phone call to her sister.
Okay.
And she asked her about a bird that she had, and the bird was named Molly. It's like a bird that the sister had, right? And then she whispered the word murders into the phone. Okay?
Okay.
So she was trying... I think that Rodney must have been there. Or, she was afraid of being heard by him. And so she whispered the word murders, did that. And then, interesting, then he murders her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So he became a person of interest. He looks, I've listened to some podcasters that say that they were sure it was him because he looked exactly like Sketch.
Yes. And he was an avid hunter.
Yes.
And he had access to a white car at the time. So
he had a brother named Randy, where did I write this down? Who was also accused of like sex crimes and that type of thing. I think he had raped a young girl, something like that. And so what if they were together in this?
Yeah.
What if it took two of them? Do you know what I mean? And the one thing that struck both of us, how many sex offenders are in this little town? Crazy amount.
Yeah, but if you even do any area,
I guess.
We have tons of sex offenders.
This is Warren. This is a small...
Yeah, but look at Hanover. Yes, it's sick.
What did I write down about this? If I could read my own writing. He was married twice, this Rodney guy. He fished and hunted in the area. He smoked.
Yes, he did.
You said he had access to the car. Oh, here's the interesting fact. He lived near the YMCA where Molly got her lifeguard certificate. And they're saying, what if, and she her dad worked not too far from there. And so what if she walked to and fro. So what if he had met her, whatever. Yeah. It's all speculation.
It is.
But she had, and she said, she's a chatty girl. They said that she would talk to anybody. She was very outgoing and said, we have my lifeguard, certification so I can lifeguard it.
Yeah, sure. You do that. Yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that's kind of that. He's kind of where I lie on it. But
I kind of just with the I ruled out Frank. I don't know why. I just don't. I think Rodney or Gerald bumped up, I just.
But that's not what the police are saying.
No, but
no, Rodney Stanger is still in prison.
Yes, he's still alive.
He's still alive, and I would love to talk to that man.
I don't know why they're not getting DNA from him.
And maybe they have.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But then they could rule him out. I'm just
right. But this Frank guy, like you said, he definitely matched the sketch.
He did, but they all kind of, from what I saw, could resemble the sketch in a certain.
Yes, I think it's a very generic.
Yes, there you go.
Kind of sketch. And the thing about Frank is though that he did smoke a cigarette with his left hand.
Yes, he did.
So I think Frank could have been the guy in the white car.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And honestly, it's our own.
Yes.
And I see what the police are saying with Frank, but to me, I would put him at the bottom on my list. Again, I am unqualified. It's just reading. Yes. He's not, I would bump the other two up, but I don't know.
They say that the police is whatever is chief, whatever. He's saying that we have everything we need except we're missing one piece, right? But they're not telling Heather and the family, like, what is that piece?
Yeah,
and there's no evidence. So Frank died. He's one, like you said, 2016,
right?
But he was cremated, and so they don't. My thing is, how do they not have any DNA evidence from him, like just from his house?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
If we go missing, it's because there's a big old cover up. We're getting too close, but I'm sure this is things that other people definitely that smarter than us, have
more qualified,
yes, have gone through. But the fact that this Rodney Stanger would pose as a policeman, see that makes sense to me.
He's at the top of my list, and I don't know why.
Me too.
They're just because he's alive.
Yes.
He's in prison in Florida. Now, maybe
for murdering Crystal.
Yeah. So I don't know why they haven't gotten his DNA and
and maybe they have.
Maybe they have and they're not.
And they're ruling him out. I don't think there is too much DNA. That's the problem. There's no DNA evidence on Molly. There was,
but they had her bathing suit.
They did have her bathing suit.
And then the cigarettes.
Right. But I didn't think there was any DNA evidence on the bathing suit. I could be wrong.
I don't know. But I think
it was only her DNA on the bathing suit.
Yeah. But they had the cigarettes, which could be
which could definitely have DNA
on
it. So, and I think that let's see, there's also someone, and I didn't have a name of this person, and maybe this is not Frank, I don't think, that in June 2017, an investigator, they were doing like a radar penetration type of thing because they were looking for the car. Because someone had reported that there was a man that was staying at a campground same day, same time where Molly was, disappeared, that he drove a Buick, 1986 white Buick LeSabre.
Okay.
He showed up back at the campground. He was missing all that day, drunk, bloody, with scratches on his face.
Oh, did they name him?
They didn't name him. I don't know. We might ask Heather that.
Okay.
I think he did give DNA, but they were looking for that buried car, that he buried the car. And I think that they had evidence to believe that the car was buried.
Okay.
So there you go. Yeah. I'm talking, this poor girl was surrounded by pedophiles.
Exactly.
And maybe this should be like a lesson unto parents to just check Megan's list all the time.
Yeah.
And just make sure But like this Frank Sumner, he was arrested, I think, because he did not register as a sex offender.
Right.
So they're not all registered.
They're not all registered. And then you also have some, because I've checked it. That's why I know there's some all over this area. Yeah. Because some are considered, I guess they don't differentiate, like someone who may have dated a 16-year-old or dated a 15-year-old, had sex, and I'm not taking up for anyone, because Lord, we have so many pedophiles, and I think they're the lowest of the low.
Yes.
Pedophiles, I just think you cannot get lower than a pedophile.
Trust me, you cannot. And the Bible even says in there, Jesus says, if anyone hurts a child, it's better for him to have a millstone wrapped around his neck and him to be tossed into the ocean, into the sea.
And that's how
God looks at it.
And I think every pedophile
Yep. And all these ones that are like have died,
Yeah.
I hope they're rotting in hell.
I do
to be
too.
honest with you.
I do too.
But Frank was named as publicly. He was named as a person of interest. And they said after receiving a compelling tip. Although I don't think Heather knows what that tip is, and the family doesn't know that either.
Right.
And I think that Heather had to take up this. Well, she took up this crusade, I think, because her father had a stroke.
Yeah.
And he was the one who was really, going after it. Anyway, let's see, what else do we have? But they do have 267 pieces of physical evidence, they say, and they've been testing like all the time. So this is still an active investigation.
Active, because even though the body was found and you got some closure, you don't get closure until you find out. I think that would give me who did it.
Right. Even beyond why.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I just found in my notes. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Rodney Stanger's brother, I was telling you about it. He was connected to that. He was a person of interest in the Holly Perini case.
Oh.
That girl that was raped. That was the 10-year-old.
Before.
Sorry. That was at the bottom of my notes.
I just want to say, they had great parents.
Frank's parents, just so you know, this Frank Sumner's parents, mother had it written that he was not to inherit anything at all in the will. Mm-hmm. And his dad... Something about his dad, like kind of like the same thing. They wanted nothing to do with him. So Frank Sumner was like a mean SOB. Yeah. He was not a nice person. So maybe I don't know. It's that white car. No, that's a thing. But all of these suspects had access on that day to a white car.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, I don't have access now to a white car. I know it was a popular color back then.
Right. But it would be so frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm sure as investigated. And now I just had heard on the 48 Hours episode that there is a new detective. It's a woman that has been assigned to this case, and she is not going to rest until it's taken care of. Bring in the woman. I'm telling you.
Heather's fighting this fight.
Yeah. It's going to take a woman to solve it.
It is. And the fresh eyes, really, I think fresh eyes will.
80 boxes of evidence she has to go through.
Oh my gosh. But there's.
And tips. 8,000 tips. And she said every day, every week, and this is now, a week doesn't go by that they don't get like between one and several tips every week.
So I do think this case we're going to stick with it. Yeah. Because we want to give all the support we can now to the family.
And if you have any information at all. I mean, it was in 2000. What are the odds? But guess what? At least we possibly, if you were anywhere near Cummins Pond and Warren in 2000, my gosh, you might have seen something you have zero idea. And it might not even be like by the pond. Like, what if you saw something at a gas station?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Or a car wash where they did see a car being washed. Yes, someone had pointed that out the next day at a 7-Eleven. It just,
So if you see something, say something. That's our big thing.
Yes.
And also if you have any tips, here's the number. It's the Molly Bish hotline, I believe it is. Okay. And we'll put it in the show notes, but it's 508-453-5.
So, because we want to help this.
Yes. And you can get online. Is it mollybish.com?
Yes, I believe it is.
And you can help in other ways, like donate to, these kits and all these other things.
And then also we'll put this, but it's Justice for Molly Bish. A big one.
Yeah. So let's help this. I mean, I'm just saying, imagine if this was your child, your life would be, that's why I tell Kelsey, I'm like, and Joel, if something happens to you, like I might as well just die.
Oh, I know.
That's how I feel. I would just want to die.
Especially in such a way that the not knowing.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
A few years later, they did discover the body.
Yeah.
Like we're learning Jesse Farber case. It brings some closure, not total.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And right now, as we're recording this, the big thing is Savannah Guthrie's mom is missing. So here's an adult.
Before.
Yep. And, pray to God she comes back alive.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
But you know what I mean? It's very, very scary. And so even at that age, it'd be terrible to be going through. I can't imagine. It's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, because we have kids, but then we also have parents, and I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't want that. No,
exactly. So anyway, so we all need to be safe. All need to be aware of things around us. It's not just the young and beautiful.
No, and also if you think, I did see a white car at the gas station, but it meant nothing. I would go ahead, and I know it takes a lot for me. Yeah. What's the harm? Just make a call. Right. Not in this case, but if anything, with Savannah Guthrie in Arizona, just,
See,
who cares? It may help.
I did that once. I don't know if I told you on this podcast. I did that once where I was at a Sheetz, in Smoking Dam. And I was in the bathroom and there was a woman in there. And then this, she was standing at the sink. I noticed her keychain because it was kind of like gaudy. So I noticed that. I think she had it was like a Lexus keychain or whatever.
Right.
And then this little girl came out of the stall and I thought she didn't act right. Like she acted like she was drugged. That's the only way I could put it. Like she wasn't acting right. And she wasn't acting like this was her mother. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the woman just said something. She was Russian and she went out. She stood right outside the door and I could hear her on the phone speaking Russian. Right. And I had a bad feeling. The gut feeling. I'm like, this is not right. Something is not right. Mm-hmm. And so because, me, I'm stupid. I'm like, I am just going to stake out this car and wait for them to come out. Because I knew exactly what car was hers because I saw the keychain, sat in the parking lot, watched that woman come out and that girl kind of trailing like a zombie behind her. I sat there for a while. I followed them.
Oh my God.
I followed them. And then I was like, I called 911. Yeah, I did.
Good for you. Good.
I battled with myself. I thought, am I just being... Because I did take a picture of the license plate.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just have this bad feeling. Like, I understand the conflict because you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is nothing.
They're going to think I'm weird.
Right. Exactly. So I called 911. They said this is a case for the state police, transferred me immediately to the state police. I told them the story. I said, same thing to you. I'm like, I don't know if I'm overreacting, but I just don't have a good feeling about this. And they're like, we so appreciate you doing that. I don't know what happened, but could I have saved a young girl's life?
You may have.
I may have.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where you have to go outside your comfort zone if you feel.
Bingo. That's
because how many people see a dog in a car in the hot summer day?
Oh,
right?
yes.
And they'll break a window. They'll do whatever it takes to save the I'm going to say the damn dog. But we're talking to people and children.
Yeah.
This is way more important.
Yeah. And I think so many people, it's not that they don't want to get involved. I feel a lot of people are afraid they're going to embarrass themselves.
Yes,
they talk themselves out of it. And honestly, I have probably done that in the past, but I think now, especially since doing this podcast, I'm more like, I embarrass maybe it's age. I don't care. So it's age.
It could be this mule we're drinking.
But I'd rather speak up than, you did. Something that just
I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong.
And let the police determine whether it's right or not.
Yep.
So that's a good way to leave.
Thank you. And as always, follow us on our social media. Sip-spill-salt.
Yes.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
And then we also started a Buy Me a Coffee. Yes. And so I put a link on our Facebook page. So that is, you want to just buy us a cup of coffee or a cocktail. Like I said before, it's not really buying us a cocktail. Helping to support the episode so we can pay our expenses.
Yes.
And that is at www.buymeacoffee.com/sipspillsalt.com.
Yeah, sounds good. And keep tuning in. Oh, Mason Dixon Distillery.
Yes. Get yourself one of these mules, people. You will not be sorry.
Go for dinner. Go for lunch. It's great.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stay suspicious.
Yeah.